Today's food and travel might just be my favourite from a whole visit to Indonesia. You'll find out why towards the end of the video. Because I've been vlogging my recent experiences in Indonesia. Having started in Bandung and now finding myself on a tiny island near Maluku and Papua called Ambon. I've tried some spectacularly tasting food with vibrant colours along the way, and tried what I could only describe as the weirdest dish I've ever come across. We're trying that again today, so make sure you stick around, because this video is about my last few days on the island before heading back to the island of Java. And boy do I have some incredible food to show you. Ambon has already reserved 2 of my top 5 meals on this trip, Coto Makassar and Nasi Ikan, and you'll see another meal in that top 5 at the end of this video. In the last video, we finished our island boat trip, and thankfully I was finished with my Bali belly, eating the most Western food on the island to help stabilise my funny tummy. The first Western food I've had since leaving London, so I've made a pretty good shift so far. My second lot of Western food came soon after to really stabilise my funny tummy, and the following morning I found myself in Pizza Hut with the whole family, which I thought was quite amusing, dragging along a group of Asian aunties and uncles to a Western fast food restaurant to help the Westerner acclimatise. We had a pretty spectacular day planned ahead, with some incredible views from the island's highest point, and a knowledge-inducing visit to the local museum. And as we pulled up, there was a temple over the road under renovation. The first museum was the Marine Life Museum, seemingly under the same name as the second museum, but the best museum in terms of knowledge was the War Museum, named Museum Siwa Lima, and Siwa refers to the 9 kingdoms in South Maluku, and Lima refers to the 5 kingdoms in North Maluku. And being British, I was really keen on learning about our part in Indonesia's history, and I knew the Dutch, Portuguese and Japanese had all played their own role in Indonesia's history as well. Although I'd had some food in my stomach that I should be more used to, I still wasn't feeling 100%, and the day had started out by being around some burning rubbish, and I'm not used to this, so when inhaled, it would usually always ruin the next couple of hours for me. If you've been somewhere where they burn rubbish, let me know your thoughts and how it affected you in the comment section. I powered on after the museums, and so pleased I did because I wouldn't have seen this incredible view. This is the highest point in Ambon, and it was one hell of a task to get there, even for the car. The roads were the steepest and most riddled with potholes I've ever seen, and I had started to feel pretty unwell. But before I show you the floating fish farm, the exciting food we had ordered, we stopped off at this incredible bit of geography. The queasiness from the burning rubbish was starting to wear off as we drove to the marina, because the fish farm is out there. You could swim, but we opted for this little thing. Classic Indonesian boat. And here we are, the floating fish farm. The fish farm is made up of a series of these fish nets, each housing different fish. This is the kitchen where they fillet, cut and cook the fish, and the sitting down area is floating over here. Stingray? Oh, damn.
It's funny. Wow.
Oh, damn, down there.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That's insane. The size of that one.
Yeah. There's lobster.
The idea of this restaurant is to allow the customers to pick and choose the fish they want. In this pod was the most incredible lobster I've ever seen. It had a purplish tint to it, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is a huge lobster.
This one just had a bunch of small pretty fish and a puffer fish in the bottom of this one.
Fish down there.
Sat down for a few photos and waited for one of my top 5 meals during my time in Indonesia. And all this food helps form my sustainable weight loss drive to be as slim as possible without sacrificing too much in life. Too much sacrifice through fad diets that always result in me putting the weight straight back on again. So if you're like me and you fancy joining me along my journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Likes and getting involved in the comment section down below always help me too. Now, before I dive into this incredible spread of Indonesian island street food, I wanted to show you more of this fish farm because it's so cool. It's situated about 100 meters out in Ambon Bay, and it's called Rumah Makan Apung Imas Biru. I'll leave a link for it down in the description if you wanted to visit. Because of the abundance of fish in the Indonesian waters, there's little need for these fish farms. So I struggled to find a little bit of information on them as to how they work. But it's simply a place to pick the fish you want to eat and was an incredible experience. Let me know your favourite fish below, because it's good quality protein to consume and I love the taste, and I'm always down for trying new types of fish. And now the table's stacked with food. First thing that arrived onto this table, and I've had this before in my earlier vlogs, and that is the infamous fish head soup, leaving no waste. This is a staple dish in Indonesia. This is packed full of healthy food, as you can imagine. It really helped my sustainable weight loss whilst I was out there. There are so many benefits to eating fish, and they're all pretty basic, so I won't go through them. But you get additional benefits through eating the fish head soup. And another staple arrived at our table, a staple that I've also covered in my earlier vlogs. Papeda. This stuff is hard to swallow. Each mouthful almost feels like phlegm, and it's very bland. I had to spit this out when I first tried this. Thankfully that restaurant was on the water too, so I just had to go over the side. And I'll leave a links for all my other vlogs in the description down below, and a link to the playlist as well, so make sure you check those out afterwards. And one of my subscribers gave his opinion on papeda as well, and both agreed it's an acquired taste and texture, and I'd really like to know if you've tried papeda. I piled my plate up with grilled fish, prawns, fried tofu and tempeh, and a bit of rice and morning glory to go on the side. We've been over morning glory before, but it's one of my favourite balancing dishes, and of course I had to have some fresh sambal with the meal, eating with my fingers as well. The big dish in the middle there is the fish head soup, and a series of grilled fish surrounding it, chosen by us. Did a pretty good job of clearing all the food as well. And heading back to the mainland, we had 2 more visits before flying back to Java the following day. And if you've ever seen giant eels, make sure you stick around, because that's where we're heading. The giant eels were just around the corner from the Rujak and Sepa, where we've been before. So we stopped off for some coconuts to take some photos and incredible videos.
Kalau apa Pak? Dia sendiri yang tadi. Oh Pak ya sendiri.
The setting for these eels was just incredible. Eels really weird me out. Apparently they're really relaxed with the locals because they feed them small fish. Before we knew it, we were back in Ambon City for a final meal at my girlfriend's uncle's restaurant. This was so bloody tasty, consisting of babi goreng, where babi is pork and goreng is fried, and literally had me thinking about it for days afterwards. Apparently that is his special dish, and I can see why. The table was also stacked with noodles, a vegetable mix, and 2 fat plates of sambal sauce, and we ended the night by testing our blood pressure with my girlfriend's cousin. We had our last meal on the island with some friends at a local restaurant, eating the classic nasi ikan, rice and fish with sambal chili sauce, and had a gorgeous drive to the airport for our flight back to Jakarta. And make sure to not miss out on my earlier days from my trip to Ambon, which you can see here. And if you're following along my journey chronologically, you can see the next vlog here. Don't forget to leave a like and get involved in the comment section down below, or even drop me a subscribe. And there's links in the description down below to some of my other videos. You can also check out Willie's apple cider vinegar there as well. I take this every single day because of my IBS, and it's the best thing at subsiding some of those issues. It also has a plethora of other health benefits. I've even done a video on the top 20, which you can see in the description down below.